Hello, everybody. It's another vlog on this challenge of 30 vlogs in 30 days. And today we're talking about how one system doesn't work for everyone. I'm a guy that's into productivity. I watch a lot of productivity YouTubers, and I've used lots of systems myself, from Todoist to Notion to Evernote to everything. I've tried a lot of things. And the problem is that there is a lot of stuff out there where it's just like, hey, if you do this, this will solve all your problems. This is how you get organized. And the more I've gone down this road, the more you just realize that everyone's wired differently and there is no one solution for everybody. I think there's practical tips that can work for everybody. Like, I'm a big proponent of write everything down. Don't count on yourself to just remember it. Like, I think no matter what kind of system you have, that's a good note. Whether you write it down on a notebook, piece of paper, put it in an app, I don't think we're the best at remembering things. I know I'm not. So that's like a universal thing that's helpful. But there's so many templates and structures out there, and people are saying, hey, buy this framework. Which is fine, and that might work for certain people, but it's just understanding that we shouldn't feel bad if it doesn't work for us, where I watch some guy and he's like, this is how I organize my goals and this is how I structure my life so I achieve those goals. And I try that and it just does not jive with me. I don't have to feel like a failure because that method doesn't work for me. I feel like we're all wired so differently that one thing might not work for another person. There's some things that I need to do analog. There's some things that I need a certain reminder app to do. And I think when we're sharing stuff like that, I think that's something to consider as well. Because I think back in the day, I would just be like, you just have to use this app. If I use this app and it makes my life better, and you need to use this app because it will make your life better. And sometimes it could, depending on the person, they might try it, and I think it's worth sharing. But at the same time, I recognize I recognize now that I can share something, but it just might not click with somebody. I feel like some of the things that I practice don't always click with me, and then I have to reverse engineer and be like, okay, well, what broke? I know I've said something like this in an earlier video, but I think there's a thing called Gall's Law. Like LOL. Gall's Law, LAW, where it's saying that a complex system is built out of a simple system that's been added to over time. And that's something that I always come back to because I succumb to productivity YouTuber stuff where it's just saying, build this thing's epic, try this template, this is awesome. And it's like, wow, I can wire my whole life into this thing. But it's built to a level of complexity that worked for that one person. And I'm just jumping to that level of complexity. And it breaks, surprisingly. What we need to be doing is just starting simple. Like, what do I need? It's like, okay, I need to just remember everything I need to do. It's like, okay, here's a piece of paper with everything I need to do on it. It's like, okay, well, now I need to, but I need to do some of these things at very specific times. It's like, okay, well, maybe I'll rope in a digital calendar, or maybe Google Tasks to remind me when those things pop up. It's like, oh man, I really need to figure out the priorities of these. It's like, okay, well, maybe I can put symbols on the list. Maybe I can use an app that has priorities. Maybe I can use a highlighter. But all of these things are like you're running into a wall that's hindering you, and then you overcome the wall by some small solution rather than going to the nth degree and saying like, oh, I'm going to just do this crazy thing. Anytime I've done that, I've pretty much burnt out on that thing pretty quickly. I think we need to realize that not all systems work for all people, that we're all wired differently, and that we need to just start small. Start small. What problem do you need to solve immediately right now? Take the step, get some counsel from your friends. It's like, what do you guys do? And take that first little step to take that hurdle off. It could be as simple as having a notebook and a pen, and that's all you really need to do for right now in this season. And I think it can work in the reverse as well. Sometimes you have something complex and you reduce because life gets crazier, busier, or you just realize you're like, I'm just spending too much time on this system. I'm going to reduce the system. So, yeah, I think having grace with ourselves, having grace with others, helping people if we've got 2 cents to share, but just recognizing, hey, we're gonna have different ways of approaching this, and that's okay. So, yeah, have you run into this? Have you tried to share some sort of productivity system or something and just realize it doesn't really work? Or have you tried something and pretty quickly realized that you're like, oh, I thought this was going to solve all my problems and it didn't really work for me? I'd love to hear about those in the comments. That's all I've got for this one. I appreciate your time. Thank you. And I will see you in the next one.